It's crooked. Oh, sorry. You guys are crooked today. Come on, stay where you are, you stupid camera. Fuck. Okay. What's up, everybody? So, today I decided to do something a little that I've done before, and I've kind of been fighting with myself on. I was going to record a gameplay thing today, but then I realized I just don't feel like doing it. Some days you just don't feel like doing stuff. But I figured I'd introduce you to another one of my others. I talked about Serenity on the channel. You actually met her when I was stressing out over stuff and I switched, and she's a pleasant individual to be around. A very nice snow woman. And then we have Lulu. She's not a bad person. I want to point that out. She's actually very nice. Lulu is a succubus. I know all the religious people are going to freak out, but honestly, she has a very important role in my system. First, let's talk about her appearance. Lulu is about 5'8", very busty, very curvy, with a thin waist. She's voluptuous, but she's also fit. She has a tail, obviously, that ends in a spade shape, and the basic succubus wings. Hers are, I think, black and purple. Last time I checked, she does have shape-shifting abilities. She reminds me constantly, because she lives up here. She can pretty much do whatever she wants. So, she is a redhead. Her hair is very long, and she has 2 brown ram horns. Her eyes are purple, and she has pale skin. That's basically, that's just basically how she looks. Clothing-wise, it varies by day. Usually it's like some kind of tank top and jeans, like me. Now, her role in the system is interesting. Her role is, it's not a conventional role necessarily. It's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. I call her a seeker. Basically, she seeks affection in any way that she can get it. Whether it's through making people happy, by doing things, by sexual pleasure. That is a big one. And, basically she's someone who wants to make people feel good, and she wants to feel good herself. That being said, Lulu has gotten me into some trouble before. I usually don't talk about personal stuff like this, but a long time ago, well, actually, up until earlier this year, I was very heavy into the hookup scene. I was a part of that, and I regret it. It was not fun. It was not enjoyable. I honestly felt very sick to my stomach about thinking about what I went through. I'm not blaming her. I blame myself. Lulu will take over whenever I need to de-stress, or I need affection of some kind, or I need to practice some self-care, basically. That being said, we still need to work on her timing, because I will be on my computer or something, or try to make a video, and, it'll be like, ooh, look how cute this girl is, that kind of thing. It's kind of like, it's very spur of the moment, and I've been trying to work with her on having better timing. And it can be very disruptive to my workflow. Like earlier, I was trying to figure out what to do for a video. I basically got distracted. Family friendly, ooh. YouTube is weird that way. But honestly, her role as a seeker, similar to someone else I'll introduce you to later down the line, Pride, is to gain something. I'm not going to go into why she's like this. That is very much a trauma thing, and I'd rather not talk about it. At least not right now. I will say it has to do with lack of affection when I was a kid. So, obviously I wasn't, completely lacking affection, but I didn't get the necessary amount that I needed. So her role became get attention, get affection, get love, get pleasure, and there's a lot of work to do. Honestly, with how many others I have, it's going to take a long time for me to get this sorted. Thank God I have someone like Serenity and a bunch of my others who are trying to help me through this. That being said, Lulu's personality is very, I don't want to say promiscuous. She's not like, oh, I'll do anybody. No, she's, she is pansexual. Different from me, I am only into women. So, that's something I want to note, is that a lot of the guys up here have varying sexualities. So, Lulu's pansexual, she likes people for who they are. Me, I'm picky. So, and I don't want people thinking like, oh, when Lulu's out, I'm going to be interested in men. She actually respects my boundaries enough to know that, oh, I would not want this. But at the same time, there's a line where she's like, well, we kind of need a little bit of attention. We need some love, and if you catch my drift. So, we'd frequent a chat site, which I did visit recently just because I was bored and I didn't really expect anything of it. And I did that on my own fruition this time. But when I went on there before and I was feeling a certain way, she would kind of take over and talk to people. And I would very often find pictures on my phone that I had no recollection of ever receiving. And that's where I start to feel guilty about this sort of thing, is that I'm not generally that kind of person. I don't generally enjoy sharing pictures of myself to people who I don't know. Whereas Lulu is my polar opposite in that regard. She doesn't care. She's like, hey, you got it, flaunt it. If they want it, show it. To me, I feel like that puts a hindrance on who I am as a creator and as a person. And that's why I'm trying to work through this. And talking about it is actually helping me a lot. This is kind of like a therapy session. It's interesting that way. That being said, I don't blame her. I'm not mad about it. A little disappointed. Everybody gets disappointed with themselves occasionally. I'm mainly disappointed in myself for, not putting my foot down sooner. But, when there's nothing else to do and I'm not hurting myself or somebody else with it, we'll usually just watch videos or something. Use your imagination on that. I'm not ashamed, but I gotta be careful with YouTube. Since this channel is starting to grow, I don't really want to get in trouble with them down the line. But, she is very sensual. She is very, clingy. She's more clingy than me. I'm gonna put that out there. I am a clingy girl. I love cuddling. I love being, hanging on people's arm. Even though I'm tall. I just like being close to someone. With Lulu, it's an extreme, though. She wants to cling constantly. And that's not a problem if it's in a relationship and we can set proper boundaries. It's a problem with, the people that she had been, talking with. Because obviously those kind of people aren't going to want to, do anything afterwards. It's to be like, oh, well, okay, go home. This feels so weird to talk about, because I was nervous about talking about this, I'll be real with you. And, honestly, I wish that I could change this somehow. I don't want to change who she is, because obviously it's just, her personality. But I want to help her understand that this is hurting us. And I think she's starting to kind of get the picture. Because if I say something, she kind of backs off. And one of the biggest wake-up calls was a UTI that we got from one of her little stints. And, we were paranoid. We were very afraid that it was something worse than it was. Obviously, I've gotten tested quite a bit at this point, and I've always come back clean. That was years ago by now, so pretty sure I'm good. If I'm not, well, I'm not gonna think that way. Come on, I'm fine. You know, I always, just a little side note, I always kind of get into that mindset of, what if? And then I have to correct myself. So if you hear me do that, it's just my brain trying to be like, no, think positively, damn it. I mean, dagnabbit. Can't swear on here anymore. Family-friendly shows. But, the reason that I'm saying all this, though, I want to kind of wrap this up by saying, the reason I'm doing this is I don't generally like to switch unless it's necessary. And I want to kind of explain why that is. I know this should be its own video, but switching wears me out. It makes me very tired. It makes me a little... It completely drains me of all energy that I had. And it's mainly due to the feelings I get when I switch. Basically, I get a kind of a buzz feeling right here. Like, not like when you drink, but it's like an actual, like, you feel like your head's buzzing, and it starts to build pressure behind my eyes before I go like this when I do it. I start to feel a little faint and dizzy. Then the switch happens, and after a certain point, you know, I switch back. When, you know, what we needed to do is done. Or if, like, Serenity switches out, she calms me down or whatever, and then it's back to me, and I'm completely tired at that point. And it's the same with everyone, just slightly different circumstances. Which, I'll talk about in its own thing, I think, because I don't want to drag this on too long. But essentially, she does have a very important role, and I do love her like I love all of my others. I am critical of a lot of the things that happen with the way we are. And I'll be real with you, the way she used to act, and still slightly acts occasionally, scares me. And it's mainly because, you know, it's my body. You know, I am the host here. And if something goes wrong, the whole ship's going down with me. You know, and I think that's what really freaks me out the most, and like I said, it's kind of a wake-up call to her, that, oh shit, if I don't, you know, stop being crazy, this is, you know, this is all going to go wrong, and something's going to happen, and, you know, she actually, she kind of vented to me, like, I think it was a few months ago, saying, she actually asked me, do you hate me? And, of course, I said no. I don't hate Lulu. I love her to death. It's just, you know, it's like having a sibling who won't listen, basically. It's like you're telling them, hey, this is bad for you. And they're like, oh, but it's fun. And then she hit me with a question that kind of, you know, stuck with me. Would you be mad if I integrated? And I told her it would destroy me. You know, like, not like physically, I'm still here, but, and, you know, this is the last thing I want to talk about that's kind of off topic. Integration is different for certain people. Other people, it's just like, oh, they go away and, you know, they kind of just do whatever. For me, it's like a Thanos snap. You know, if you've seen Avengers, you know that he snaps his fingers and it dusts people. We already lost one of us. We had a witch who lived in my head, and she was very nice, and she would make potions and stuff for people. And she would do charms and all this cool stuff. I'm going based off what I was told. And her name was Britches. She was very nice. I called her Wicca originally because, you know, I'm a pagan who does, you know, pagan things, and I used to class myself as Wiccan pagan. After a certain point, though, they realized that she wasn't around. When I started becoming more aware of everybody up here, I asked questions. I said, what happens when someone integrates in my system? And this is what really scared me, is that they went silent for a while, and the one who told me this was Oscar, who is another one I'll have to talk about later. He told me, if we integrate, it's very similar to that supervillain in that movie you just watched. You know, it's like someone just snapped their fingers and gone. Him saying that to me was not to scare me, but to let me know that they're scared to integrate, just like I'm scared to let them do it. Excuse me. But, you know, and I know a lot of people's goals to integrate. My goal is to cope with this. I don't really see a reason to integrate personally. I don't like the idea of it. It scares the shit out of me. And I know that that seems weird to some people. A lot of people want integration to, you know, be normal. But this is normal to me. And I talked about that with a therapist before, and she said, hey, if integration isn't your goal, I'm not going to make you do it. And I'm not going to make them go through that if that's how it is. And I said, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. But, you know, one, I don't want to put all of them through the pain of seeing somebody turn to dust in front of them again. But I also I generally just don't like the thought of losing people. I've already lost people in my life like this. Losing people up here, it makes me feel like I'm losing a piece of myself. And it scares me. It really does. But anyway, it's kind of a somber topic, and I'm sorry I kind of got off the beat there after talking about Lulu, but there's honestly not a lot to say besides the fact that she lives in a place called Love Lane City, which is a town full of succubus and incubus, which is really cool. A lot of, like, adult things there, though, which I'm actually going to do something else with that. Like, in terms of a video. She runs a bakery called the Heartful Bakery, where she makes heartful cakes, and they are very nice spongy cakes in the shape of a heart, along with her sister Evelyn. And, you know, she's friends with Dominique, who is another one of my others, and she's, you know, it's just generally fun, you know, in that town. A little crazy, little inappropriate to talk about on YouTube, but hey, we're going to talk about that some other time. Anyway, this video's been all over the place, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for another talking video after the fun stuff that happened yesterday, but honestly, a lot went wrong today. I was going to do a sewing thing. I could not get my sewing machine to work. I was frustrated with that. I was going to do a recording of me singing. I couldn't get into it. I was going to do gameplay. I had Minecraft pulled up, and I'm like, you know what? I want to save this for a different day because I have a huge project that I'm working on with it. So, basically, this was the only alternative I had because I didn't feel like going anywhere today after yesterday. So, here we are. So, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you stopping by. You know, leave a like if you enjoyed it, I guess. People seem to be enjoying what I post lately, and I'm very happy about that. Hello to all my new subscribers who are joining us. Thank you very much. You're really cool. And as always, you're beautiful, you're valued, you're important. Don't you ever forget that, because it's very, very, very important to me and everybody else. And I'll see you in the next video. So until then, goodbye.
I'm strange and I like it, that's just the way I am. I can't change, I can't hide it, that's just the way I am. Might as well get over it, but don't try to understand. I'm strange and I like it, just the way I am. From a whisper to a shout, I'm what the buzz is all about. Everybody's bugging out, and I've only just begun. They can win on my